Good morning, everyone. Thanks for watching. I appreciate every one of you. Big news. I went over 1,000 followers, 1,000 subscribers. That's big news for me. Today, I talked about fasting a little bit the other day, and today I'm going to talk about intermittent fasting over 50 and why you should not do it until you watch this video. It's important that you watch this video. Before you jump on this fasting bandwagon, if you want to get on it, and I'm sure some of you will, I got some hard-earned lessons for you that every man over 50 should know first. And these are things that I learned, things that I did, maybe some mistakes that I made. Although I followed a pretty strict protocol, I just had to change a few things up. So why is fasting different when you're over 50 for men and women? When we over 50, everything changes for us. When working out, weight loss, everything, but our hormones have changed. A big recovery. Everything we do over the age of 50, recovery is probably the most important part. Recovery is keeps you from getting injured. It's also where you lose the weight. It's where you build the muscle in the recovery phase. A muscle loss risk, there's a muscle loss risk, but I'm going to tell you how to mitigate that. You can completely drop that myth that if you fast, you're going to lose muscle. Medication's a big one. The rules change with your age. It's just the way it is. Now, there's 5 things like a pre-flight check that you need to do. And one of these, I know some of you won't do. I'll admit I didn't do it. But if you have any you need to talk to a doctor if you're over 50 before you do any type of fasting. Depending on the type of doctor you have, I can probably tell you what he's going to say. But if you have blood pressure, high blood pressure, diabetes, you're on any kind of medications, you need to talk to your doctor before you fast. Some of them will tell you, yeah, you can fast, but you may have to do it. We had people in my group that with diabetes who still did some fasting. They just had to do it a little differently. And it's a good idea always to get some lab work done on glucose, your lipids, testosterone, stuff like that. Protein is big. You got to have a protein plan. We need that protein to help keep that muscle. 1 gram of protein per lean per 1 pound of body weight, or at least or at least if you can't get 1 gram, 3/4 of a gram, no less than half a gram, and that's not enough. You really need more than a half a gram of protein for per pound of weight. Electrolyte strategy. It's a big thing. We all need more electrolytes in us anyway, and especially, not just water. You need Gatorade, or, I got the little packets I put in my drink. I bought those. I had different flavors. I liked those one time. Or not one time. I've been using them for probably about a year. Up before that, I would just use old-fashioned Gatorade. Sleep, very important that you get your sleep dialed in. We need that 7 hours of sleep no matter what we're doing over the age of 50. Now, I've got about 15, I haven't really talked too much about the benefits of fasting in the first video, and I've got some mistakes men make, but first I want to tell you the benefits of fasting, and I'm just going to go through these. About 15 of them. Helps you lose weight, no doubt. Fasting will help you lose weight. Promotes longevity because of autophagy and cellular regeneration. I'm not going to talk about that today, but I will in another video. Promotes detoxification. So it detoxifies your body without having to, just naturally. Speeds up your metabolism. Yes, it will. It will speed up your metabolism. It boosts your brain function. There's a lot of studies been going on this, how fasting affects different things. Matter of fact, fasting is one thing that's been studied like crazy now, because in America we got a late start on it. There are new studies now being done on Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease in fasting. It improves your immune function. It rejuvenates your skin and prevents acne. It improves insulin sensitivity. It's good for your heart, helps lower the risk of type 2 diabetes. Studies are being done on cancer prevention as I speak. DNA damage, chronic inflammation, and genome instability. It lowers your blood sugar level, and fasting improves your sleep. So it does a lot of great things for you. Now, but let's talk about 5 mistakes that men make that can prevent some of those good things from happening. Jumping straight to OMAD, or 1 meal a day. Some people get into fasting and they eat 1 huge meal a day. I don't think that's the way to go. And you definitely you don't want to do 1 meal a day when you first start fasting, because you're just not going to get in the nutrients and the protein your body needs. So, you want to eat more than 1 meal a day. Lifting heavy in a deep fast without fuel. So when you definitely can lift weights while you're fasting, but you don't want to, during those hours, to when you're fasting, to do a really heavy workout. You can do, you may remember in the last video, some of you watched it, I said that I lifted in the mornings after I'd been fasting for 12 hours, 14 hours or whatever. I went ahead and did a workout, but that was not when I started. That was probably 3 months down the road. But you can work out, and I'm going to talk about that while you're fasting. You just do it during your eating window. Ignoring electrolytes. I tell you, if you ignore electrolytes, you'll get headaches and cramps. Electrolytes help with the headaches and cramps. Also, a black coffee in the morning, or mushroom coffee, whatever you're drinking. If you have a headache in the morning, that usually cured my headache right away. Under eating overall calories equals muscle loss. So we still got to take in our calories. We don't, if you're trying to lose weight, just think about, if you cut your calories way back and you're fasting, you're going to lose probably some muscle. Even if you weren't fasting, you'll lose muscle anyway if you're not working out. But you really want to do some type of strength training to keep the muscle up, and we want to eat the right amount of protein and good calories. Let stress and poor sleep wreck recovery, and it will. Guys, we just got to get a rest. And I talk about this all the time, so you know that we have to get a rest. My recommendations. You can begin. I started out the very first day I went to 16, but you don't have to do that. You can do a 12 and 12 for a day. You can do a 14 and 10. 14-10 is what a lot of people do. They'll start out with a 14 and 10. 14 hours not eating. That's pretty easy when you're sleeping 7-8 hours a night, and that's just an hour or two before you go to bed, no food. An hour or two after you get up, no food. And then it may take you 2-3 weeks to get to 16 and 8. And then you start doing 16 and 8. 16 is what the majority of people in the world do. Strength train inside your eating window, those 8 hours or 10 hours that you're eating. Strength train within that time frame when you start. It'll just make it easier for you. But actually, it's more of a mental thing than anything, as I found out. A great thing you can do, great thing for your body, is to walk fasted in the morning. When you get up, go for a walk. You're probably at 10 hours or something, depending on how you did it. You may be a few hours more, maybe an hour and less or so, but go for a walk in the morning when you're fasting. And it's good if you do some zone 2, which means picking up the pace a little bit. You know, it'll help your body burn more calories if you're fasted, and you do a little bit faster walking or riding your bike or whatever in a zone 2 in the morning. But if you don't want to do that, just do your regular walk. How do you break your fast? This is a big thing. When you break your fast, that first meal, and I've talked about this, you probably think you got all this food, I'm going to shovel it in. No. You do that, you're not going to eat that much. You get full really fast, and then I would have another meal a couple hours later. That's why I say 1 meal I don't think 1 meal is good for you. especially when you first start doing this. Maybe months down the road, every now and then you do 1 meal a day if you like that, if you're trying to lose weight. But if you're weightlifting and stuff and you want to keep your muscle, have a couple meals. And you break it, what do you break it with? You want some good protein, a lot of protein, and some good clean carbs and vegetables. Like a normal healthy meal should be, except for you really want to be protein intense. Protein, really get some good protein in your body. And a lot of vegetables, and you get you some good carbs. And something you probably want to do is track your energy, see how your energy levels are. You're going to find out after you start fasting that you have way more energy. I know you might think that's weird right now, but you're going to find out that you have more energy. You want to track your sleep. Like I say, you want to get a minimum 7 hours of sleep a day. Even if you don't get all of that during the night, you can take a nap. If you're retired, you probably take a nap in the recliner anyway. Take you a little nap. And don't rely on just the scales. Rely on, you could tape your waist, see different changes in your waist. You can see how your clothes fit, of course. You can do all of those things. So, but it's important that first meal when you break the fast. And then it's up to you during that eating window. You got 8 hours or 10 hours, depending on, you got plenty of time to eat. But actually it got to the point when I would break the fast, it would be like almost an hour after the fast before I would eat, because I'd get my food ready and stuff. When you first start, you might eat 10 minutes after you go 6. You might start getting your food ready, and as soon as the fast is over, you're watching the clock and you eat. I think I did that a time or two, but then I was like, man, I fixed all this chicken here, I can't eat it. And so of course I ate it. I figured out a couple hours later, 2-3 hours later, I was hungry again, so that was my second meal. And I also had a protein shake usually before I went to bed. A couple hours, 2-3 hours before I went to bed, I had a protein shake. So, fasting can be a game changer if you start smart. Don't screw it up. All of those great benefits I talked about, remember those, all the good benefits you get from it. And just start off with 2 days a week, or 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day fast, take a break, fast, take a break. And that way you do it about 3 days a week, but start with 2 days a week, see how it feels. See, it can be a game changer. Drop a comment with your number one concern about before you begin. I'm getting a lot of good comments, and I appreciate it. Drop a comment about your number one concern. You also may see that in the post section, I'm putting up polls. I'm going to be putting up about 2 polls a week for probably 8 to 10 weeks. I got these questions, and of course, I'm getting some really good, interesting answers, and these are going to lead to things that videos down the road. So if you like the video, give it a like, and please leave your comments. Share it with somebody if you want to, and I'll talk to you later.